It's a satanic music industry. That's majority of what it is.
These artists have just gotten darker and darker as time has gone by, to the point where these performances look like scenes from horror movies. This has convinced many people, including myself, that these artists aren't just putting on a performance, but conducting a real occult ritual. Rituals that are being powered using the crowd that shows up at these events.
This openly worships Satan. The link between music and the occult is becoming more overt.
I've been in rooms at the top of the top, which albums are prayed over demonically. Music is prayed over demonically. That goes out to the world, goes out to the radio stations, goes out to the public.
Some people don't believe there's a spiritual war going on, but there absolutely is. We'll look at two cases in the music industry, Doja Cat and Kevin Gates, that absolutely proves that there's a spiritual war and that demonic influences have infiltrated the music industry.
The industry is destructive. So let me take it straight to God, and straight to the world as a spiritual world. We have the Holy Spirit that guides us and protects us in the name of Christ. But the spirits, multiple and plural, that the demonic side of the music industry is very real too. That's how I came to God, through understanding the demonic side. So I think the industry has a way of just taking control of you in many self-destruct scenarios. I was certainly interested in being mysterious. It gave me a character. It gave me some substance that I could hold on to. And why I did that, or why I portrayed myself in those ways, I don't know. Maybe I was trying to prove something out of a boy band scenario, perhaps. But also, it intrigued me, the world, the darker side of the world, the Ouija boards, seances, all that kind of spiritual tarot card reading, all that kind of stuff really got a hold of me. And interestingly, that all came from our very first album launch, which you would look at very innocently, because it was around Halloween. It was a Halloween party in a big mansion, but in that was super demonic. But for this young kids, it's a bit of fun. All the record company are there, and all the journalists are there, and here we go. Well, when I look at the way the industry has the ruling over music, now, of course, not all music is bad. By all means, it's not. But majority of it there is to take you away from Christ. 100% take you away from Christ.
In terms of the lyrics, is that what you mean? Or do you mean the industry itself, people, the big players in the industry?
Both, lyrically, and both big players. Both. I've been in rooms at the top of the top, which albums are prayed over demonically. Music is prayed over demonically. That goes out to the world, goes out to the radio stations, goes out to the public. And when you see that stuff and know that stuff, it's frightening.
What do you mean by that, Shane, prayed over demonically?
So rituals, ceremonies, everything to bring, to give light to the devil, to Satan. It's a satanic music industry. That's majority of what it is.
An important fact worth pointing out is that Lucifer at one point was the highest angel in heaven, even above Gabriel and Michael. Of course, we know that Lucifer, Satan, has fallen and is now the enemy of God. Ezekiel 28:13 tells us, "The workmanship of your timbrels and pipes was prepared for you on the day you were created." Lucifer was actually in control of music in heaven, so it's no surprise that here on earth, where he's the god of this world, that he uses music to be a main way to get demonic influence to the masses.
If you look at what the music is today, the industry is today, for all your Sam Smiths to your Dojo Cats to your Beyoncés they are so demonic, it's unbelievable. And we can't, it's in front of us. It's something that we kind of go, oh, it's just music. But it really isn't. It's absolutely taken over the world, taken over our children, and taken over everything that's coming to the times of world crisis.
And it certainly had some kind of influence on you, because as you said that you started to get very drawn into the dark side, and you were interested in witchcraft and Ouija boards, and that led to some very dark experiences for you personally. Can you tell us a bit about what those were and how those came about? It
came about just through opening those doors. You know, we've got to be very careful on what doors we knock on. And as soon as you start innocently doing a tarot reading or a Ouija board or a seance or whatever fun things as kids that we mess around with, you're giving grounds to the dark side. Of course you are. You're now engaged. You've opened the door. And once you open doors, they have the rights. They have the rights to come in. And I opened many doors and found myself in a very, very angry, very dark place, self-destruct place, violent place. And at one point of all of that, was I don't think I was quite suicidal, but in the industry that I was in, the press itself was, quite, with the whole, I'll say, phone hacking side of things and everything that went on, and the paranoia. And, a lot of us celebrities are and have been through cases of all of that, which led to a lot of destruction. So the press themselves are even on a destructive path. And with that, just for me came a very, very, very dark place.
I mean, your autobiography talks about, all kinds of things, being locked into your body, having demons come and breathe in your ear, levitating beds. I mean, it's pretty out there. But you experienced that. So when people kind of say to you, surely not, like that's nonsense, or, maybe that's in your mind, or maybe that, what do you say to them?
I say the devil's doing a great job of diverting your truths, and Hollywood is doing a great job of it too, because that's what it's there to do, is to make you think it's all nonsense, of course. And if you think it's all nonsense, then the devil's laughing, and it's very real. And if you're a Christian and you understand the Bible talks about demons. That means it's real. If you understand the Bible is real, all of that's not in there for no reason. So just because you've never seen it, and I wish you never do, if you've never been a part of it, but you still have to understand it's biblical. And luckily for me, it was biblical. And luckily for me, it's how I found God, because I knew the dark so well. I knew they were real. I hung out with them, which means, well, if you're real, surely God is real. And that's kind of my flip journey of how I had to get out of where I was.
There's brainwashing that gets involved in music, in the music industry, like recording things backwards and all these different things that people don't know, frequency channelings and different things like that. So you never know who you're fucking with unless you fully dwell into them as a person.
Is that kind of true within the industry? Is some real kind of other kind of spirits kind of handling that game? How real does that get?
Yeah, it's real. All I gotta say is that if you ain't got nobody praying for you, or you don't pray for yourself, do not get into the industry. Because you know what I've learned? They say Satan don't have the red horns and the pitchfork like people think. He presents himself, honestly, if you look back before he was banished from heaven, Lucifer was the most beautiful angel of them all. So it always presents itself as beauty, but not knowing really what's on that inside. Because there's some pretty people that got some ugly soul. There's some handsome men that are demons.
It's a fact.
Another disturbing aspect of the influence of Satanism in the music industry is the notion of musicians channeling spirits that overtake their bodies during performances. Some artists have openly discussed experiences where they feel possessed or guided by an otherworldly force while on stage, attributing their extraordinary performances to these spiritual encounters.
Like when you're getting ready to go on stage and perform, does Sasha Fierce, when does she show up?
Usually when I hear the crowd, when I put on my stilettos, when like the moment right before when you're nervous and that other thing kind of takes over for you.
Min is a crazy boy who lives in me, and he says the things that I don't want to say. He was born, just a few months ago. I think he was born out of rage. He was conceived in rage, so he bashes everyone. He threatens to beat people, and he's violent.
That must be nice to have like an ignorant loudmouth who you can just sort of blame every...
He wants to be blamed. I don't want to blame him. I ask him to leave, but he can't. He's here for a reason. People have brought him out. People conjured him up. Now he won't leave.
Lady Gaga is being called out for literally conducting an entire ritual that her fans were unknowingly participating in, leaving many people wondering, why are these performances becoming so demonic? There are very few events that see crowds like this. Attracting 125,000 people per day makes Coachella one of the most influential stages in music ever, making it perfect for the elite who control these artists to use the stage to push satanic propaganda. That's what Coachella has become, a giant demonic harvesting ritual where artists openly show their alliance to the devil, all while the fans praise it all and scream for more. Many of the biggest artists were openly showing this dark demonic imagery to hundreds of thousands of fans. Most people don't understand why these performances have gradually gotten so dark and demonic. It's because this is all a part of the ruling elite's agenda. Music and Hollywood are used to shape the minds of the masses, mold people's personalities, and guide their lives. Those who run our world have plans for a new world that requires people to fully adopt their moralist society. These people that run this country pay millions to build up influential stars that's only purpose is to brainwash the masses. The reason these stars push all this dark demonic imagery is to normalize occult New Age beliefs and to use these thousands of fans for their satanic rituals. As the more people they can convince to participate in these rituals, the more effective they become. There's a reason why the stages are lit red and there's flames everywhere. That's not for the aesthetic. They are using these stages for disturbing rituals.
In today's music industry, several artists have admitted to incorporating witchcraft and spells into their music, claiming to cast spells on their listeners. Taylor Swift, known for her hit songs and massive popularity, is one such artist. Swift's music video for Willow features witchcraft imagery, and she has openly talked about the song being akin to casting a spell to make someone fall in love. Beyond these individual admissions, there's a broader pattern of satanic and pagan influences in the music industry.
What really woke me up and let me know, like, okay, the enemy is involved in this kind of music. I'll never forget, there was I had to perform. And I was performing with this famous rapper. I actually opened up for him, and I was, got on the stage. I began to rap and do my thing. And while I was rapping, everybody was feeling it, and everybody liked it. And even this person, he was like, man, he shook my hand even afterwards that I got done. Like, man, you did a great job, and now it's his turn to get on. And so after I got off, I stood in the back of the club and I saw him get on, and he began to perform. And there was this voice that came to me. And again, I know the voice now, but at the time I didn't know the voice. I just heard something and I listened. And this voice said, I need you to go back. I need to go to the back of the club. I need you to stand on the back wall and watch. Literally, my eye opened to the spirit world. The moment that I said I was going to do what this voice was telling me to do, it was as I got activated and my eyes opened to the spirit. I see these dark shadows come out of this rapper's mouth and enter the people that was in the club. The women started getting more like seductive and promiscuous, and then the guys started getting more angrier and rowdy, and like the next thing you know, gunshots happen in the club and we run.
Artists like Lady Gaga and Beyonce often involve the use of occult symbols, ritualistic performances, and lyrics that glorify witchcraft and rebellion against biblical values. This trend isn't just about individual beliefs, but reflects a deeper cultural shift. As our society becomes more secular, themes of witchcraft and the occult become more mainstream. This shift can desensitize young listeners to these dark themes, subtly altering their values and perceptions.
rapper who's gotten popular over the past few years, and her music has continually started to promote evil more and more. We can see her at the red carpet, dressed up in some evil type of imagery. She has multiple tattoos of evil fallen things, which we see some of, and the all-seeing eye, the eye of Lucifer, painted on the back of her head in the music video we're about to talk about. Obviously, the videos have tons of demonic imagery with her dressed up and acting like a demon. Her coming to the person in their bed at night reminds me of all the countless experiences people have had with sleep paralysis, where they can't control their bodies and feel evil presences around. But these people, when they call on Jesus, then these presences leave immediately.
You should know that the serpent is used to represent Lucifer. Megan has been fully embracing this serpent Lucifer imagery. She has also been showing plenty of satanic devil imagery as well, pushing the same demonic propaganda the biggest stars in the world are all guilty of pushing. So it's not surprising that she was booked to perform at one of the largest music festivals in the world. Just like her music videos were full of demonic imagery, so was her Coachella performance. It seems like the theme for Megan's Coachella set was hell, because that's exactly what her set looked like. This was one of the scenes from Megan's Coachella set. Not only was Megan barely wearing any clothes, but the satanic imagery was on full blast. The stage was lit up blood red with fire all around her and her dancers, clearly appearing like Megan is performing directly from hell itself. On top of this, there is a literal demon face with its mouth open on the stage. Now ask yourself, what does any of this dark demonic imagery has to do with her music? Also ask yourself how the fans can see all this dark demonic imagery and not ask themselves what's going on and what they're even doing there. This is clearly spiritual warfare. Hollywood and the music industry is the devil's greatest weapon. With these industries, they manage to put millions in a trance, singing songs that are praising the devil. These artists got these fans praising Lucifer and hell, partying to wickedness. Then they don't know why they're spiritually lost. They're giving their praise to this and think nothing is wrong with it. These celebrities are putting this imagery all in the faces of the fans, and sadly, they refuse to see what's going on. They can't see what these performances are actually being used for. What is the point of Megan's performance looking like a vision into hell? Is this a representation of her music and what she serves? Yes. 1000%. And all of this imagery proves that. You think Megan hovering over a serpent like she's possessed is normal imagery? Open your eyes and pay attention so you're not fooled.
Is this the reason why we see so many rappers now turning to promoting demonic and evil imagery in their music, like Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Nas, Doja Cat, and Kevin Gates? I think that makes a lot of sense as to why that's the reason why. And what they're really doing is evangelizing for the evil, demonic, fallen realm. And that's what we're seeing, and that's why it's important to be aware of this stuff.
As we delve deeper into the influence of Satanism in the music industry, it's essential to consider the role of music labels and executives in shaping what we hear. Music labels strategically promote certain types of music, steering the public towards themes of rebellion, immorality, and even Satanism. Many believe that artists have complete creative control over their music, but that's not the reality. Music executives and producers play a significant role in determining which songs get released and promoted. This control can lead to the propagation of specific messages and themes. The industry can subtly influence listeners, especially the younger generation, leading them away from the Bible and the Word of the Most High. As consumers, it's crucial to critically evaluate the music we listen to and understand the potential underlying agendas. In this context, it's vital to question who truly holds the power in the music industry, the artists or the executives. Are the songs we hear a genuine expression of the artist's creativity, or are they carefully curated messages designed to shape our beliefs and behaviors?
It's quite disturbing realizing how many people passed away at the Astroworld Festival that just so happened to be satanic themed. Travis, just like Megan, is an artist who fully embraces this demonic persona. Travis not only has tons of music videos full of mockery of God, but also he shows himself leading people to an eternal burning end. The same exact imagery he was depicting at his Astroworld Festival. Some of you should remember that he had a shirt depicting people passing through a portal to hell. Same thing as the entrance to the astral world, which was a giant Travis Scott mouth. All of it was disturbing and demonic, and my prayers still go out to the families who lost loved ones. You would think that after those people lost their lives at Travis's astral world, he would have stopped using this kind of demonic imagery and changed his entire performance, at least out of respect for those who lost their lives at his show. But that's not at all what happened. He is still using the same demonic imagery, and it's truly disturbing. One clip that I saw that especially caught my attention because it looked so evil, especially after what happened at Astroworld, was this one. In this clip, Travis Scott is performing while his backup dancers can be seen hanging upside down. They make them appear like they're floating upside down in hell. This truly bothered me, as it looked like Travis had these souls trapped in hell. It's almost like Travis is mocking those who passed away at his festival. Truly dark and disturbing. This honestly shouldn't be supported by so many fans. His fans are all hypnotized, and these performances put them in a trance to the point they can't control themselves, and the hypnotic music and frequencies take over. Believe it or not, it's all ritualistic. I'm honestly disgusted that Travis Scott was allowed to perform again, especially at Coachella. He was not only let off the hook by the law and the music industry, but sadly by the fans as well. Everyone pretends to forget about what this man did, except for Egypt. Those in Egypt straight up banned him from performing at the pyramids. They called him out for being a Freemason and stated that they didn't want to allow him to perform at the pyramids to conduct a Masonic ritual. It's not a secret that Travis Scott is a Mason. Just like Astroworld was a ritual, so was this Coachella festival. Lady Gaga took the demonic imagery to a whole new level. When it comes to Lady Gaga, all this demonic imagery goes back to the beginning of her career, which I have covered extensively throughout the years. Recently though, she has been turning this demonic imagery up a whole lot, dropping several demonic themed music videos like her video Disease, in which Lady Gaga shows herself becoming demonically possessed, or her Abracadabra video, where Lady Gaga cast a full-on spell on her fans. I knew all of this was leading to something big. She was setting all of this up for this massive harvesting ritual at her Coachella set. Again, during Lady Gaga's set, we see this red dim glow on the stage with the same hellish imagery. Right now, I could only find fan-recorded clips of Lady Gaga's performances, and what I found is truly disturbing. In the intro to her set, Lady Gaga starts the performance with a reference to Bloody Mary before she performs a seance to the crowd. They then show her dancers looking disturbing and demonic. Her backup dancers look like literal demons, and they appear to be summoning something, and that something is Lady Gaga, who shows up looking like a demon. Lady Gaga is then shown pale as can be, dressed in red, standing inside of a giant dress. The dress then lifts up to reveal souls trapped inside of her. This was truly one of the most demonic performances I have ever seen. This is worse than what Sam Smith did at the Grammys, and that was already horrible. Clearly, Lady Gaga is showing what is influencing all of this demonic imagery. She is consumed by demons, and in this performance it shows, with skulls plastered everywhere. In this clip, she continues the skull imagery. This time, Gaga is surrounded by backup dancers wearing skull masks. She is then shown fighting the demon from her music video Disease, with the demon eventually overcoming her and combining with her. All of this is purely dark and demonic, yet the fans ate it all up. The fans can't see all of this for what it really is, even when it's as obvious as it is here. The mainstream machine is pushing all of this satanic propaganda for a very real reason, a spiritual and a physical reason. They need the world to become desensitized to this, which looking at these performances, we can see that they have. Her most disturbing performance of the night was when she performed Bad Romance. The performance starts with a group of Gaga singers wearing demonic masks while they act possessed. They began ritually dancing over Lady Gaga, who then rises off a stretcher looking like an actual demon. She has elongated fingers with horns coming off the top of her outfit. Lady Gaga took the opportunity to do a full-on ritual in front of the crowd of hundreds of thousands of people. She was feeding off the crowd's energy, using it for this massive occult ritual. The fans just cheered it all on, loving every moment of it. They don't ask themselves why these artists are using this dark imagery. Why is demonic the theme for her set? The last performer we needed to talk about was Lisa from Blackpink. Just like hip-hop and pop, K-pop is full of satanic imagery. The K-pop group Blackpink is one of these groups that heavily uses satanic imagery. Just like the other performances of the night, Lisa uses all the same dark imagery for her set. Before they introduce Lisa in the performance, they show her looking like a demon on the screen. We see the same demonic themes coming from all of these artists we spoke about today. They all have their fans praising the devil without their consent or knowledge. It's more than just music, it's control. We the people shouldn't support any of these artists who are using performances for occult rituals. Our souls are more important than a fun night out. The people who are showing up to these shows are exactly where they want them to be, spiritually lost and being guided by demons.
The Smashing Pumpkins, who were one of the most successful alternative bands of the 1990s, have also promoted the coming Antichrist. Here you see Billy Corgan promoting the number of the Antichrist on his shirt in concert.
They got contracts out there that say you can't say Jesus.
Like, you literally almost signed to Polo G's record label.
I'm looking through the deal. I'm just skimming through it. I'm not even caring. I'm trying to where the dotted lines at so I can sign. That's what I was trying to figure out. So then my homeboy grab it. He like, hold on, let me just, before you sign, bro, let me just look through it real quick, bro. Just flipping, bro. He like, stop. He was like, bro, you didn't read this? I said, read what? The thing said you could not say the name, like literally in verbatim, it said you could not say the name Jesus. It didn't say God.
Wow.
It said you cannot say the name Jesus. I forgot what else it said, but it said like or else. Like it was like a threat in there.
Thank you for this massive award, this massive honor to the Academy, to the Black Music Collective, to everyone who has ever been touched by the music and the message. Clive Davis, Anna and AKW, Dez and my brother Jay-Z, Team Rock, Adam Blackstone, Hell's Kitchen, the Most High.
The reason she's doing this is because it comes from this right here. Buffman. Can y'all see it?
Jesus can't save you, life starts when the church ends. Jesus can't save you, life starts when the church ends.
The DJ booth is conducting a troubleshoot test of the entire system. Somehow, while the party was in progress, an unidentified frequency has been existing in the system for some time. And while many of you have been made too brainwashed to comprehend, this frequency is and has become a threat to our society as we know it. This frequency has been used by a secret society in conjunction with Lucifer to lure and prey on innocent partygoers with hypnotism, synchroprism, tricknology, lies, scandal, and pornography. I mean, look at this one in particular. Her fans were looking at this visual for over a minute with frequencies playing, and then they were flashed words like, whoever controls the media controls the mind.
Miraculous key that opened doors that no man can close and close doors that no man can open. 528. It will change your life in the most beneficial way. And now we have substantive evidence, massive amounts of evidence that is what 528 is. Ultimately, what has happened with this planet is that we are in dissonance to another note, another frequency. It turned out that when we discovered the original musical scale, there was not just 6, but a total of 9 core creative frequencies to the universe. That is, everything in the universe is made from 9 notes, only 9. And that the first 6 are the solfeggio, and then there's 3 additional ones that form a perfect circle of sound. And that perfect circle of sound looks something like this, if you graph it. So the first 6 notes, 396, 417, 528, 639, 741, 852, was the original solfeggio scale. The 528 that you can see on my left in green is the color green. It's the heart of the rainbow. That's the miracle note from the original solfeggio note, from the original solfeggio scale. And the other note that you see, 741, which is part of nature, is called the devil's interval in musicology. That when you play 741 with 528, it creates such an annoying and dissonant energy, dis-easing, stressful, that if you continue to listen to it, you could die. And so that the concept here is interesting. In the world today, we have people who are controlling virtually everything economically, geopolitically. Their agenda has been population manipulation, population control for millennia. They have held the secret knowledge, the ancient music, by which the pyramids were constructed based on the math. All of the universe is constructed according to these 9 tones. They knew about them. In fact, they instituted. In fact, it was the Rockefeller Foundation in 1939 that instituted the world's standard tuning. The Western world tunes to a 440 hertz frequency. That when you tune your instrument to that, the F sharp note is 741. Precisely. The A440 is what now is the standard tuning. If you go A439, you're closer to one of the creator's tones. If you go A441, you're closer to one of the creator's original tones. That's how precisely it has been manipulated. To do what? To shut down the 95% of your brain, particularly the right brain that operates the heart mind of the divine human communion. Here is a metaphor so that you begin to understand what we're talking about. When you go driving your car and your channel on the radio is tuned to a station and you're grooving to the music, you love that music. As you get farther and farther away from the broadcasting tower, that music gets static. You start to lose the signal from the clear channel, broadcast, and it gets staticky. When it gets staticky, you get a little annoyed. But you want to listen to it. You really have a heart for that music. So you continue to listen to it for another 10, 15 miles, and suddenly it becomes so annoying that you just get disgusted, you go, and you shut it off. And if you continue to listen to it, you get sick. That's what we're talking about here. Except you don't even know that you've been listening to the static your whole life. You don't even know what the true resonant frequency is because it has been kept from you. So in other words, the master composer, master conductor of the Universal Orchestra is singing love songs in 528, uplifting everything simultaneously. And we're the only species out of tune and accepting static for the clear channel. Dr. Masaru Emoto. He goes up on stage and he has a triangular, a musical triangle that he hits, like in an orchestra. He's hitting it over here. He gets it bing, and about 30 yards or 30 feet away is his interpreter standing here with the same exact replica of that same size triangle. Frequency tuned to the same frequency. And he tells his interpreter to put a microphone next to it. And suddenly this one starts to resonate. He hits that one over there. This one starts resonating. How much of your body is full of water? They used to say when I was at Harvard School of Public Health, the truth was back then about 86%, 86% of your body, well hydrated, was water. Today they tell us it's only 75%. Hogwash, they've been dehydrating everybody with the poisons. 93% of the function of DNA is light and sound reception and transmission. Photon, phonon, reception, transmission for intercellular communication and cellular upregulation. You know what cellular upregulation means? It means precipitation. And now, every millisecond, instant second, you're re-manifesting right now in water. Water is the most energy conductive of all of the materials. It's a superconductor. Let me give you the fundamental, the rudimentary origin of the numbers. Here it is. The most important numbers, 3, 6s, and 9s. Again, Tesla said, who created Tesla coil. Tesla coils, energy amplifiers. Your DNA is an energy amplifier, a coil, operating by the 3, 6s, and 9s primarily. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, you've probably looked at engines or motors, magnets that have been wound with copper wire. When you do that, when you wind the copper, coil the copper around the magnet, it enhances the energy dramatically. That's what your DNA is. It's an antenna to the Creator. Every single cell of your body has this energy capability. It has this divine intelligence. What does that mean? That means the first entities that you should be communing with in order to uplift yourself, sustain yourself, heal yourself, is the billions of cells in your body that have its own unique genetic intelligence, its own sacred spiral to the Creator. And so this is the structure of the way that the universe operates, which does fabulous for us, our understanding of some of the most wonderful pieces of information to allow us to live a faithful life. A life according to the law, according to the matrix. Here is the simple way to analyze this. You've heard of what goes around comes around. You've heard of as you sow, so shall you reap. So this explains it. Let's say that you're here and you are putting out negative thoughts, negative behaviors, negative actions. It's all energy. The neurology in your brain's powerful. 86% of you is God water. So now that's going out, and it goes out, and here's what happens. It goes out, it goes up, it goes down. This is called the event horizon. You shoot down through the middle of the event horizon, which is the black hole, comes out and spins back around, ultimately comes right back. Bringing to you karma. Bringing to you divine judgment. It's all according to the mathematical matrix. It's certain, it doesn't lie, it's always consistent. There's nothing missing, nothing broken in it.
Just keep this in mind. They're playing our CDs when you're not home. They're playing my tapes in your own car, in the tape deck. And I'm influencing your children.
I'm glad you're influenced by us. Do you do drugs? Go home and smoke something.
I'm influencing your children.
Listen, if you're ever going to commit a crime, you should do it now because you're still a minor.
Look at this. You're just amazed by the power of it. And I was also aware that you could just say, kill, and just somehow the surge would happen.
Music works in mysterious ways, and once it goes in, you have really no say about what it does to you.
Music is essentially the manipulation of sound. It has the power to arouse, it has the power to frighten.
Billy Joel, looking back on the 50s and 60s, admitted that music was used for subversive sexual revolution.
It has the power to make people feel profane. All those things they were saying about rock and roll in the early days, saying, oh, it's going to subvert our youth, it's going to make them all want to have sex.
I take each individual degenerate's head and reach into it, just to see if he's influenced by me, if he listens to music, and if he feeds into this he's an innocent victim, and becomes a puppet on the string of my tennis shoe.
Do you like my claws? They're real diamonds. It's a present from the devil himself. It's a present from the devil himself. You don't believe me. They don't believe me.
Heavy metal's most popular group, Metallica, and a copy of Motorhead's Prince make it clear as just to whom they have given their souls.
He straight up tells his live that he is the Baphomet, then shows a giant mural he has on the wall of Baphomet.
Smart question. Because most people don't even ask, they assume, is it metaphorical? You know what? You're the first one to hit it on the dot. Thank you. That right there is a metaphor for myself. That's me. I am the fucking Baphomet.
His wife, and they had the big show on MTV for years, the Osbournes, right? Sharon, his wife, she says that he just went berserk and went blinkers. He's just got this demon inside of him. He just can't get rid of it. These little people that live in his head, well, they aren't little people. They're fallen angels that are more powerful than us that are using him. And she said, I was downstairs reading. He came down with just his underpants on. And he's like, we've come to a decision. And I'm like, we've? Like she's talking about you and who else? Well, the demons, right? And he said, you have to die. And then he just dived on me and got me down. He was strangling me, but he's gone. There were blinkers on his eyes. He had gone. It wasn't Ozzy.
Ozzy Osbourne has admitted that he thinks that he is a vehicle being used by Satan, declaring, I don't know if I'm a medium for some outside source. Whatever it is, frankly, I hope it's not what I think, Satan.
Our mission is still the same. Destroy Earth through control of the children's mind. Teflon Sean also tweeted, this is just the beginning of the end. World Domination 666.
Guitarist Craig Chiquiso says, quote, rock concerts are the churches of today. Music puts them on a spiritual plane.
The song was so big, and they told me I had to like kind of sacrifice something. They said, you're gonna have to pay it back because you just put this information out there. This is gonna put people in the wrong mindset of what we're trying to do in society. They told me that if I don't do these list of things, then they're going to hurt my family or hurt, people that I really care about.
Like I say, to each his own,
Look at the dress I made.
I know. You look at her. She's so sweet.
Hey, she powerful too.
Yeah, I did magic on my brother yesterday.
Don't talk, sweetheart. It's okay. You're a silly man. I can talk to kids.
She powerful.
I know.
Cause that's a lot of people right there.
She's sweet to kids, I swear.
Hey, why you don't never just talk for yourself? Why you always talk for your community? You supposed to give them the orders. They don't supposed to give you the orders. You the controller. I got 10,000 angels right now. I got 10,000 angels in here with me right now at my command.
You're rude, just a little.
I sacrifice.
I know. I will too. I said I will
Say
too.
What? It's hard. That's a hell of a journey. 42 days, no food. No food. That's a hell of a journey.
I know it is.
Getting small. Felt like I was going crazy after that. Different. Everybody know what it take. Everybody ain't willing to do what it take. I'm over 3,000 years old. I'm up in rank.
In that song that she just released called Demons, some of the lyrics say how my demons look now that my pocket's full, which she says multiple times in the song. We can look at the Bible verse Matthew 6:24, which says, no one can serve two masters, for you will hate one and love the other. You will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and be enslaved to money. Matthew 16:26 says, and what do you benefit if you gain the whole world but lose your own soul? Is there anything worth more than your soul? That's what many of these rappers and people in the music industry have done, sold out their souls for money and fame, the pride of life, which is really why Satan fell from heaven. And these contracts can absolutely be broken by Jesus, so anybody who's made them, they can go to Jesus and be freed at any time. Doesn't matter what the demons or Lucifer told them. It's important to know that Jesus has the authority over everything in all of creation. We'll get into more of that at the end of the video. Another Doja Cat video worth referencing is Paint the Town Red. You can see at one point in this video where she's riding a dragon, more satanic imagery. She's got a sleeve on her right hand with pentagrams up and down on the sleeve. Within that song, she says, I'm a demon lord. The lyrics also say, she's the devil, she's a rebel. And that's exactly what the demons have been called all throughout history. They've been called devils. It's pretty clear to see with the imagery and how much she promotes the evil side, the fallen realm, that she seems to be sold out to the fallen realm. Hopefully a contract she will eventually break with Jesus. But some people in the music industry might do this just for fame and notoriety, but they truly haven't. But seems as if she is completely sold out to that. Someone else who I believe is and worth referencing here is Kevin Gates. In this interview, Kevin says he's 3,000 years old. He's the son of a fallen angel, which is exactly how demons talk. Take a listen.
You say, fast forward to the future, if I was 86 years old, well, this is gonna sound very, very crazy. I'm already like 3,000 years old right now. I just tell people I'm 33 because I don't age. Like 3,000. I know that's gonna sound weird, but I don't age. I'm immortal. There's nothing new under the sun. My mother had sex with an angel, was born an immortal, and didn't even know it.
It's a satanic music industry.
That's majority of what it is.